Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome back to our playthrough of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U. We're going to go ahead and talk to the weapon seller behind us and get started with a tour of Moga Village. Hey, good to see you. Guess what? I'm throwing a celebration in honor of the base camp getting fixed. I just need in some killer sets of armor you need. This stuff was top-notch in my virtual combat testing. You'll definitely want to pick up a set. Start saving now. Well, that was worthless. So, in Moga Village, we have the Wyverian we've talked about. We have the Outfitter who can sell us new weapons and items. We have the Guild Sweetheart, which is where we get our quests. We have the Item Shop. We have the Fishmongress, who we'll be talking about a lot later once she gets her fleet back. We have Junior, where we turn in our resources. And we have Neko, who's over here if we want to play multiplayer. The reason I wanted to give you a quick tour of the Moga Village is that we're also going to go ahead and spend this video talking about the actual Moga Woods and giving you a tour of where we can do gathering out there. So let's head on out. I've also gone ahead and changed out our weapon this time so that now we have a great sword as opposed to the sword and shield. The sword and shield we were using was a very fast weapon. We can get in a lot of attacks, but it doesn't hit very hard. The great sword is much slower, but hits much harder and has a special ability. We can charge up the attacks on the great sword to do different levels of damage when we see an opportunity to attack a slow-moving monster. And when we see that big flash, we've done the maximum damage with the great sword. I just wanted to let you see a different weapon as we come out and look around Moga Woods. So in Area 1, where we first come out of the village, we have a couple gathering spots. Over here, and over here we'll find plant gathering. And over in the corner, as we saw before, we have that area where we can gather whetstone. We can also mine if we have a pickaxe right here. Now the thing to keep in mind with Moga Woods is that what you find is time dependent. So if we come out here right away, we may find this plant available, but 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, if we've been wandering around Moga Woods, this plant may not be here, or other plants may have popped up for us to get. Let's go ahead and head over into Area 2, which we've already seen, but let's just talk about it. So again, over here in Area 2 is where we can find the Aptonoths. And you can see we actually have a giant Aptonoth. When he spawns, if we kill him, we can get some great poop from Junior we can use to guard. Let's go ahead and get him while he's here. Let's go ahead and get these guys before they run off. Oh. Go ahead and grab the raw meat as well. We're going to use that. We're going to be out here for a while. Oh my goodness, I didn't actually kill him. He wasn't dead. He was faking it. There we go. Tried to sneak past as he did. Let us kill his baby just so he can get away. A terrible monster. So here in Area 2 is where the Aptonoths spawn. This is a good place to go ahead and gather raw meat and monster bone smalls. You'll also find, depending on the time that you've been out in the field, on the right-hand side of Area 2, there are several plant spawns that will spawn over here, where you can gather ivy and herbs, and also spider webs. There is an insect spawn here. You can use an insect net to gather bugs. And there are several of these honey spawns, where you can gather honey and snake bee larvae. There's also places that spawn mushrooms. And way over here way over here is a plant spawn where we can gather scatter nuts. Oh, also ivy. Apparently all ivy. It's going to make me into a liar this time around. I'm going to keep collecting the ivy because it's useful. There we go. The plants like that sometimes give away the scatter nuts and things, we use those for the ammo for the bow guns. We'll show those a little bit later. So from area 2, we're going to go ahead and move into area 3. Area 3 also has another honey spawn up in this area, another beehive. You'll also find an insect spawn in the center of the canyon area here as well. Some mushroom spawns. If we go forward to the right, there's another mushroom spawn up against this wall right here. You'll also generally find kelbies in this area that'll spawn in. We're going to run back into area 4. This was the cave that we did the mining in earlier. There's 2 things in this cave we need to know about. The first is, when we first jump in off to the right, there's this little hole. If we crawl through here, we'll find the feline village. Now in the feline village, there is this statue, and you'll see this yellow question mark. If we were to search here, if we had had any items stolen from us by felines out on the field, the black colored ones, when they attack you, they can steal your items. We could come here and find it. We usually don't need to worry because we'll usually kill them before they get away, but if they stole something important, we could come back here for it. In the rest of the cave, we have those different mining spots. Each one of these nodes we could mine at if we had a mining pick with us. And if we go down this kind of spiral arm, you'll see that there's several different places for those nodes to spawn against the wall. And back here, if we want to fight a Gigi, one will fall down from the ceiling for us. So if you ever need to find one of those in Moga Village, you can find them right here in the Moga Village. Grab a velvety hide while we're here. Oh, there's a couple more there. So as you can see, if you run around this cave area, you'll find several different nodes to mine from. There's also an insect spawn here as well. We're going to head out to area 6. Oh. There we go. Area 6, you'll find some Jaggies and a Jaggia as well. If we come over here and do some gathering, we can find bones. Oh, we've got to actually find where they're sticking out of the ground. There they are. So when you see an area like this, with this kind of grayish bone material here, we can find bones. There's also an area over here that will spawn unknown skulls occasionally, which you need for some crafting. And there's an area back here that sometimes will have a glowing item to pick up. We'll move from 6 into area 7. Area 7 is another cave area. Tends to have kelbies or the little ant creatures. Sometimes there's a mining node over here, and an herb node as well, and some mushroom gathering points, along with another place to gather whetstones. In general, this becomes a large combat arena. There's a couple monsters later that like to fight in here. We'll head up this little cliff into area 8. Area 8 is the wyvern nest. So up here, we'll find this spot here where we can actually do some searching. Sometimes we'll get macrolite ore, And other times we'll get dung, and dung we can use in the farm to grow more plants at a time. Grab that while we're out here since we've come all this way. Sometimes ore nodes will spawn across this wall for us to gather from if we have a mining pick. And other important part here is the eggs. So this is the nest. Right now it's not active because we're not an egg quest, but there will be quests where we have to come here and pick up an egg and take it back. And this is where we find those eggs. From Area 8, there's two ways you can get down. There's an area here that we can jump off this cliff. And over here is another area that we can go down. This way takes us to Area 11, and there's these vines we can climb back up. And this way over here takes us to Area 5. We're going to head over to Area 5 right now. Woohoo! Area 5 usually has a couple jaggies. There's a spawn point over here for bugs, if we had a net. We're going to run past these jaggies, and we're going to head back to the base camp. And we're going to show you something that a lot of newer players don't ever see. So if we head back here, again, we've been on the field a little bit, so you can see this plant, which wasn't here before, is now in Area 2. Let's go ahead and gather some herbs from it. There we go. So let's head to the base camp. Now the base camp, this is where we'll usually spawn in when we take a mission from the guild. So this is where we'll start most of our adventures. Let's go ahead and cook some meat while we're here because our stamina is dropping down. Alrighty, go ahead and eat that and get our stamina back. And delicious. Alrighty. So over here, we have a spot where we can fish. Let's not scare the fish. We can fish here, and different bait will get you different things. The way fishing works is we throw the bobber out, we wait for the fish to grab it. Once it goes underwater, we get it. You don't have to press any buttons at this point. It'll just reel them in, and we can catch fish. We caught a wet fish. We can actually use that to sharpen our sword. The other thing that's over here is a secret passage that doesn't show up on the map. So let's dive in the water, swim down here. And if we swim through these ruins, we'll actually come out in Area 9. So if we need to get up into the ocean for the base camp, instead of having to run through Area 2 and Area 5, we can just take that shortcut to get up here quicker. These are the Malinxes. Oh, these are the guys that if they hit us, they'll steal our items. Oh, there you go. You see he stole a bone from us. If we can get him, we'll get the bone back. And these guys will sometimes drop items after you kill them. Let's see if they drop us anything. Nope. How about you, buddy? Nope, nothing. Let's head up to Area 10, which we already saw before, but we didn't look at the gathering points. So in Area 10, we have a place over here on the right where we can gather bait for fishing. We also have another fishing spot over here. There's the fish. And you get different fish depending on where you're fishing in the different zones. Let's go ahead and looks like we're probably going to get a pin tuna. Let's see if he gets over here. Take your time. It's only live on the internet, buddy. And I failed to hit the button in time, so we got nothing. That'll look good. If we go along over here and dive in the water, these Epioths spawn in here. We can kill them for raw meat and bones, as well as monster guts sometimes. Down here we have another spawn point for mining. These spawn across the entire wall. You just have to look out for them occasionally. Further in Area 10, there are a few bone piles that will show up underneath the water. You need to look out for them if you want to mine from them. Oh, there's another mining spot that showed up on the wall. See if we can find one of these underwater bone spots I'm talking about. There's one right there. So you'll see these little like group of bones that you can swim down to and do some gathering. And you'll find things like red coral stone and other items. Let's go ahead and go into Area 11. Area 11 is where we can find sharks if we ever need to. We had some harpoons, we could hunt them, and we could get shark skin, which we need for a couple items. Also, you'll find jellyfish here. And there's another gathering spot. I can't remember where it's at now. Oh, it's over there. Sometimes there'll be another gathering spot in this area. I can't remember exactly where it spawns, but depending on time, it'll be down on the ocean floor. And then there's Area 12, which is the last area in Moga Woods. Sorry about that sound there, folks. Which is the last area in Moga Woods. So if we come in here, we have these Ludros that we can hunt. And we also have this darker ore. It's available for mining. And that's where we can find that macrolite ore that we got earlier. We'll go ahead and kill these Ludros here real quick. Oh. So we get some resources from them, do some skinning. There's also a nest area back here where we can find more bones and items. And those are all the major gathering spots in the Moga Woods. Again, what's available where changes based on how long you've been out in the Moga Woods, so you have to keep that in mind. I'd recommend, if you want a full list, if you check the internet on things like GameFAQs, you'll find an entire list of where all the items are. GameFAQs, there's an old website that dates me pretty well. Of course, there's wikis out there and everything else, but looking up where these items spawn can really help you out because you're going to need to do a lot of gathering in this game. Luckily, I'll be doing most of our gathering off screen, so you don't have to watch the pure excitement that is me running around and just pressing the A button when a prompt shows up. Kill these last couple Ludroth. Go ahead and grab their items. That immature sponge is what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and head back to town. Now you saw there it said account items converted to resources. Those were the red coral stones we picked up. Anytime we pick those up, those are going to become resources when we go back into the town. So now we are all set to take this quest on the next episode of Gaming with Grug and begin working through the rest of the single player portions of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you soon.